All right, I think it's running. All right, if I continuing on from the last time, I'm just texturing some of the buildings that I've made. And I really wanted to bring this up just because when I teach texture mapping and doing UVs for an object and that sort of thing, I do go with a very strict standard of maintaining 0 to 1 coordinate space and a lot of that stuff because it's a very good thing to practice when you are doing this as a beginner. But as you get more involved in this, um, there are some tricks that you can do, and there are different methodologies that you can employ to kind of get what you want. So your 0 to 1 texture space is this block right here. So this bar to this bar, you can see 0 to 1. And you can see the texture, if I undim this, is here. So this is your general texture space, and you want everything to be confined to that area. And that's true most of the time. I'd say about 51 to 60% of the time that's true. There are some cases where you don't want to do that. So you can see here I'm very well outside of my texture space. And again, I teach it to maintain this um, on like an early level. So my level 1 and 2s will very much be in this area, but my level 3 and 4 kids will do a little bit more advanced. So um, general rule of thumb is you always want to be in your 0 to 1 space, but that is not always the best because let's say I drop this down. I'll go ahead and look at this wall here. Um, these are pretty high res textures, so not too bad. But if I were to shrink this down so it fits inside of here, so when you're doing UVs, your UVs should be um, roughly the two-dimensional shape of whatever the thing is of your 3D model. So this roughly is this shape, right? So I move this up here, you can see this is roughly this wall and this door. Okay, awesome. You want to maintain that because if you start um, shifting this and twisting it around, you're going to get some stretching. So like if I take this and I try to make this fit into this texture space, I'm going to get some stretching that I may or may not want for this particular texture. Okay. So where that becomes like an issue is if you wanted to maintain all that stuff, right? But if I want to, um, tile this a little bit differently or get, fewer panels on here, then I have to be a little bit more willing to break some of the rules. So here's an example where this is kind of outside of there. And I need to make sure that all these, because every single one of these buildings or every single one of these walls is technically a different object. And I want to make sure that they all match, they all line up. So for this wall here, I zoom in. I'll go ahead and dim this so it's a little bit easier for me to see. So here's this wall, and I'm going to go ahead and just grab it and make sure I know which side is up. So that is up. All I did is I went to edge mode and I select, just hover over an edge, and you can see the edge highlights up here when I do that. See that? So that tells you that's the top of the edge. So I'll just grab the whole thing and then I will rotate. And now you can see that this being rotated, we can take a look at the spacing on here. That's pretty good. If I grab both of these, you can kind of see that this wall here is not the right size. I'm going to go ahead and just fill it out so it's about that size. And that'll get me a bit more accurate. Okay. And then I'll center that up. Okay. So one of the things that you can do, one of the methodologies is if you have objects that are going to use the same material or the same texture, you can throw them all together on the same color space and manipulate the object. But then you also need to create a separate UV shell for shadows. So when I bring this into a game engine, because these guys overlap and they do some weird things, when light hits this, the shadows are going to, let's say if it hits this wall right here, because these two walls overlap. So, because these two walls are overlapping, the shadow will bleed onto both of them, even though they're not technically not near each other, right? So like if something were to hit this wall would also get that shadow. Um, Now these are two separate objects, so I'm not going to have that problem. This is one object that's separate from this one. Um, but that's like the general rule of thumb. So if you have objects that are going to be utilizing the same coordinate space, and if they fall out of your texture space, um, you're going to want to create a shadow map or a light map for it. So I'll go ahead and just grab this guy, and I'll grab this one. And actually, I'll just do these separately. I'll just kind of show. So up here, under my UV sets, you can say I have map 1. That's the default. But I can take these UVs, and let's say I like this, and I want to use that as it is. I'll go ahead and just copy it to a new UV set. And then now you can see I'm on UV set 1, and there's UV set map 1. And right now, if I click these because they're identical, you can't tell. Just make sure I'm on the new one. And then on the new one, what I can do is just hit layout. Where are you at here? Arrange and layout, and then layout. So now I can lay that out, and this will be confined um, to the right proportions within my 0, 1 space. And this is going to be good for hitting the shadows. So all the shadows will be nice and accurate. And I still have the option for my texture. So all the color space will be read off of this, and then all the shadows will be read off of this one. So, and that's what I'm doing for pretty much all the objects here. Nothing too fancy, just going through and making sure that I have a shadow map where I need it, and I have a texture map where I need it. So I'll go ahead and just do that again here. Make sure I'm on set 1, and then I'll lay it out. So there's 1, and there's 2. Yeah, pretty easy. I do the same thing for this one. You can see on this particular texture here with this top panel. So this is using this same board texture, but these guys here, and this is a really good example, these little trim pieces use this same texture, right? But if I were to take this trim and set it to match the layout, so go ahead and just grab all these, and I'll just lay them out. You can see that this has been constrained to fit accurately to the size and shape relative to the object. But you can see, because these have been kind of squished down, they're losing texture quality. So you can see these are very blurry here, even though up here is kind of nice. Well, to get the maximum out of that, I have to scale it up. So there's my scaling. So these are completely off of my texture space, but it's going to wrap, so that's kind of nice. And then up here, I have a shadow map, and on the shadow map, everything's laid out nicely and constrained to the way it should be. So just make sure that you do that if you're going to do something like this. Hey, how's it going? What's up? Yeah, still Mr. Flowers. How's it going? How's it going? Howdy, howdy. Uh, you're an archaeologist now. That's pretty cool. Mhm. I won't recognize you by Hey Saint Jude, but you don't have to say who you are on the stream. But I generally remember my students' names. I'm better with faces. After so many years, I go, oh, who are you? Okay, so that underside is good, I think. Yeah, that's good there. That's fine there. And then on here. And then this one's using two separate um, textures. So I'll get this one. You can see how these aren't even relatively the same. This is different spacing, and that's different spacing. And right now, this one's going to show the wood texture. So Maya only shows one texture, even though this has both. I can switch it, but I'm going to just adjust my dimming. So I like um, this orientation for the boards here, but I need to be able to rotate this upper panel. So what I can do is cut these UVs here. So this and this, and this one, I will do a cut. So now you can see when I grab this one, because this is separate and is using a different material, as I select it, now I can see this material. If I grab these, because these all use this one, I get to see what those ones are doing, which is pretty handy. I'll go ahead and just rotate this as I need. And I'm going to just eyeball it to get roughly the size that I think I want for this. Then I'll grab that one. Same deal. I'm going to just split this one. Pretty sure this is the top. Yeah. And if I grab both of these, I can kind of see the size. And that actually worked out pretty well. These are roughly the same size. All right, so that building is pretty much done. That was quick. Well, Jude, thank you for popping in. Silas, I'll have to go through my old student roster to see. Um, Sometimes it's tricky to put a name to a face, but I'm glad you enjoyed the class. I know I'm a terrible human being. Okay, so this building I think is good. Let's check out. So there's this, yeah, and then I want to make sure I do my shadow maps for these. So I'll grab this guy. Let's grab all of the faces here. And I'll create a second UV set. And then on the new set, I'll do a layout. And then because this wall is attached to this wall, I want to make sure that these are together because when a shadow hits here, it should, because these are all facing the same direction. If there's an object here casting a shadow on this wall, then the shadow should cover this upper panel and that lower panel. But because they're over here, that might be a bit weird. So I just want to make sure that these kind of line together. So I just stitch them. There we go. And then this one, same deal. We're going to just copy those to a new set. And then on the new set, I will rejoin these and lay it out. Okay. So yeah, so as I'm thinking about it, Silas is becoming more familiar. It's going to take a while for that to fully develop a face. My brain has to like reconfigure. It's getting there though. What's up? What's up, BBC Inspector? Did I say that correctly? BBC Inspector. My wife's a big BBC fan. All right, so this building I think is good. Make sure I save and remove any history on there. Construction history, I'll clear all. Yeet. Okay, go ahead and hide the stairs. Don't need them. I'm gonna keep this building up actually as I do my left and right walls here. So I'll go ahead and just do my left wall. And my um, left and right walls are gonna be a little bit different. So this has an exterior, and the exterior kind of has the same deal as this. It has a double layer trim, but on the interior it doesn't have that. So I'm gonna separate this. I'll go up to mesh and then separate. That's gonna divide these into two, and then I will drop on the appropriate texture. So this is gonna be this guy, and this is gonna be the tin. You can see how wavy that is. That's not very helpful at all. Um, let's look at that. Bit of a glitch with the new version of Maya. Whenever you select an object and open UVs, they don't always show up. You have to kind of hit it again to refresh it. Kind of annoying. Hopefully they'll fix that in the next update. But that's been around for about 3 versions now. So what I said in the previous video about how Maya generally updates things pretty regularly, that's one of those instances where things did not get updated. All right, so this one I'll go ahead and rotate. And I want the paneling on here to be kind of close. They don't have to be exact because, um, this is technically a different object, a different part of the shed. So it can be a little bit different, but I want them to be close. Okay. And then I'll take this and drop it in to its new set. All right. And then on the new set, lay it out. Good. All right, I'm gonna break this up so I have interior room here. This is wall left. So this one's on the interior, so I'll change the group name here. Let's do int and then wall left. This one is going to be wall. And I'll change that actually from left to just wall. So interior walls. And then this one, I'll just pull that out of the group, and this will be exterior walls. There you go. And this should not be a child of that, so I'll just move it out. All right. Let's remove all history there to clean that up. Much better. Let's grab this rear wall. I'll make that visible. And again, I'm going to go ahead and separate. This will be bum, bum, bum. This one is going to go into the interior walls. This one will go to the exterior walls. Let's remove history here. Actually, I might just go ahead and just do that to all these while I'm at it. So that one and the front. Grab you both. Separate. Seriously? Huh. Let's see. It says it consists of only one piece, but that's a lie. There are definitely two pieces here. Unless I happen to sew it together accidentally somewhere. It's all right. There are ways of getting around silliness. So I'm going to take this. Let's go ahead and project. Automatic. Should have a left and a right. Yeah. What's this guy? That might have been the thing that was keeping it together. Let's find out what you are. Yep. There is a spot where this got sewn together. That'd be why I have an error. All right. So let's see what the simplest method is to fixing that. I think what I'm going to do is extract this wall and this one. So mesh, extract, that makes them separate. Then this guy, I will separate that. Yay. So now I have 1 and 2. So this exterior wall, where is he at here? Let's move you to the exterior walls. And I will hide the exterior walls. Okay, and then this one. So this and this. I'll just snap that vertex to this spot. Recombine. Where's my thing? Combine, and then I will merge the verts. Merge. So that should be a single vertex. Yep. And you go into the exterior walls. Or interior walls, sorry, interior walls. So this one is wall right. And then inside of my exterior walls, this one is also going to be wall right. There we go. This one wouldn't let me separate it either, which means I probably fused part of it together as well. Okay, just try separating again. Okay, it says no. I'm gonna hide both of these, get those out of my way. And I will go up and just do my UV automatic here. And there is my sliver. Now, where are you, Mr. Sliver? There you are. Same deal. Extract. Separate. And then this one is my wall front for the exterior. Okay. I think I can hide the exterior walls again. And this guy, I'll recombine and we'll merge. Oh, and I see we have a point that we don't need. All right. Let's see who's up in chat. Battle Cats tutorial. What is Battle Cats? All right, this is all front for the interior. Interior. Okay. Once again, I will get rid of all history. Hi, kitten. I have a fuzzy kitten who's trying to occupy the keyboard. She's cute. But a nightmare. All right, let's bring back my exterior walls. Which one is this? That's back. Wall rear. And right wall. Okay. So I'm going to hide all the exterior walls. I'll handle those later. This guy, that one, and that one. Those all get the tin material. Hi, Popo. How's it going? Let's do the back one first. That one's pretty easy to figure out which one's the up. And then I'll scale. Let's eyeball it. Now, another thing you can do, see how as I'm eyeballing, if I select another object and make sure I'm on the other object's appropriate UV set here. So I get both. And I can take the one that I'm currently working on, just make sure it is, its width and height is roughly the same width and height as the other one, the one next to it. And that'll give me pretty good assurance that they're going to be about the same. You can see visually it looks about the same. That's a good way, a good test to see what's going on. No, no, no. You can't claw at the screen, as cute as you are. Hi. You get me with them bite bites. Hi. That's my hand. You don't see this, but this is adorable. And find something to distract the kid.
Want me to go there?
No, it's all right. I like it. All you need is a rolled up tissue. You see that? No.
Yeah, she.
I should create like little shorts of the kitten doing this. Sorry.
Best channel.
Uh, she will murder anything. All right, let me get this one. Double check the chat here. Okay. All right, so this one. No, I didn't do is I did not set the other UV sets. So I'll go ahead and do that for this. And then layout.
Monster. Why are you breaking everything along?
Okay. Look, I see you over there being mischievous. Okay. And just sew that together. Where are you at? Where's Stitch? I got it. A little monster.
She is a monster.
Okay. So in this case, that scaling adjustment's not going to work, so I just have to eyeball it.
Hey, you come here. No, not that way.
Hi.
Come here. Leave Daddy alone. Come on.
Well, she's way over there now, so it's all right.
For now.
Okay.
Those beans. These beans.
Yeah, if you're one of my students and you're just joining me and you're saying something like really bizarre, like we don't UV like that. Um, you certainly can, with caveats. What are you complaining about now? Oh, that's a painful noise. This is why I don't have children. I can't stand that sound. Oh my God.
Oh, and and now what did you do? You have to tail. What's up, butt? Here.
How do we have this create? Let me see if I can make a create an empty set here. All right, so there's the original and there's the new one. Okay. It was complaining because I have two objects that have the same name. You can technically do that if they're in different groups, but when Maya tries to search for the name to assign it stuff, sometimes it gets confused. So that's all that was. That rustling, if you can hear it in the background, my cat found a bag. She is vicious. Let's make sure these are pretty close. Looks like it. All right, I'll make my other UV set. Go ahead and create a new one. Just copy to it. And then layout. Yeah, okay. So there are the interior walls done. Save that. Let's go ahead and make interior wall. So that's wall back or rear. Okay. Okay. So interior walls, I'll hide those. I'll bring out the exterior walls. And I do need to make a separation. Hi, cat. You're real cute. Hi. That's my foot. She found my toes. Okay, so I'm going to use this bottom section for that texture, I think. How well do those line up? I'm trying not to modify the original too much or deviate from the original design too much. Um, I'd really hate to run an extra cut underneath all this. Hi. Hmm. Listen, you cannot. She's very cute. Oh, it's a pathetic sad. She's that's my nose. She's
Sure. Come here. You come here.
okay. Let's
There's
see.
more money. Savvy.
All right. Let's see. Day's going pretty good. Just freelance stuff. Don't know if the storm is going to be a big deal. Yeah, but a pretty lazy day. How's your day going? Managed to get some writing in. I think what I'm going to do is maybe move this up to be in line with this cut on the wall, and that way this trim level is consistent. So what I'll do for the walls is this. I need to redirect this edge through here. So I'll grab multi-cut. Let's get this. What you want to cut? Let's go to object mode here. Sometimes you have multiple things selected, it gets picky. All right, go ahead and just cut across, and I'll do the same thing here. I'll have to level these out, but I'll just do this wall.
Okay. Kitty. Kitty.
And this one needs to line up with that, and then this one and that one. Straighten it out, and then line up with that. All right. Downside about being a little bit tired is counting is bad. I'm already terrible at math. All right, I can remove this edge. This is maintained as a quad, even though it's kind of stretched. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That is technically valid. A little awkward, but valid. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there are some things with geometry when it comes to maintaining good like geometry, and I'm kind of violating some rules here to be efficient. So basically, your quad should look roughly like this, and you can make some shapes with your quad. You can do stuff like this. That's okay. Um, whatever. Things that you shouldn't do with your quads is make them concave. So you should never do this. And you can see as I try to do that, I get a, a drawing issue. It doesn't know how to draw that. So as long as I'm not, you know, going inside out, I should be all right. But I should be able to form pretty much a triangle or a straight edge um, with 3 vertices, as long as I don't go too far back. So it really comes down to how it's going to be rendered and how efficient it's going to be as far as poly count. So I need to be careful like with this kind of stuff here. So that should be okay. Like if I were to go down in here, this would be technically illegal. Not that the polygon police are going to come get me, but it breaks some rules. Listen, cat, I need you to not that this is a very expensive thing. And you were free, so you're a lot cheaper than that. Hi. Do you want to get my nose? Get my nose.
This is normally her playtime, so she's getting a little restless.
I know. This is normally the playtime of the kitten. So I'll do this wall and then I'll take a break and make sure I give the kitten plenty of love. So let's go ahead and clean up this wall. Just kind of show what I'm going to do here. I will eventually have to go do all the other walls, but that's all right. Um, so I'm going to get these ones. I'll just hide them. Oops, hid way too much. Can I hide you? Yes, you and you. Okay, so with this, I'm going to take the lower half, make sure I'm in the right space here. Grab the faces on the bottom. This is going to have the wood texture, and then the faces on the top. That's going to have the tin texture. Okay, there we go. That looks painfully bright, but it is doable. Drop that into UVs. We'll clean that up. All right. So since I know, just kind of like to work more efficiently, since I know I'm going to want this to be um, one one piece for the shadow map, I'm just going to copy the UVs now over to my shadow map or light map. It's the same thing. So new UV set, and then I'll just copy those over. Now there is an option to copy to a new set, so it'll create the new set and copy them over. But because I've been getting an error because of duplicate names, I'm just creating the set manually and then moving them manually. So ways to get around Maya for 300 Alex. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just rotate this. Actually, before I rotate that, I want to separate along this edge here. So this and this. And that one. And you know, what I really should have done, I know I'm making some mistakes here. I should have autoed this just to make sure this comes in straighter. You can see that straighten that edge out. Because when I created that edge, so when you create a cut, it automatically defines it in UV space. It doesn't necessarily define it accurately, it just makes it. But you can see now that I reprojected, this is straighter. If I go to set the other set, you can see this is still bent. It's all right. In here, I'll just go ahead and rerun my automatic, and now that's straight again. So I go back, and now I can take this edge, so you, and then these guys. Now, since I'm not technically working in clean geometry, I don't have the glorious ability to do a select the line, double click to get a straight cut. So um, whenever you're violating some rules, you lose some abilities. So So really, as as you're teaching this kind of stuff, or as you're learning it, learn all the rules, and then once you know the rules, you can learn through experience when to break them. I think that's good there. Now, it doesn't matter as much if the exterior doesn't match the interior, because there aren't too many instances where you're going to have a clean view inside the building to measure both the exterior and interior walls. Um, So knowing that, I know that I don't have to spend too much time in this, but I think that's roughly the right size. And then down here on this, that looks probably okay. I could definitely do some work on that. You can see how over here, you can see where the knots are in the grain, and then over here on this one, yeah, some of the knots are giant. So I think what I'll do is grab this and just adjust. That's a little better. Where's that one at? Okay. All right, so that is this wall. And I guess that was a bit of a short video. See if any other questions. Um, okay, so I think I got all those kind of cleared up. But yeah, that was a bit of a short video, but just kind of wanted to cover going over the textures and when to break the rules and kind of show examples of how to do that and ways to make sure that you're still getting good textures if you aren't sticking to the standards. So, alrighty. So that's about it. Hope you guys have a great night, and I'll see you next time.